Take it away.
I will. Hey guys, it's Ben from Hilltop Packs.
And Tim, the Gear Pro at Hilltop Packs.
So today we're going to do a video on some of the most common questions we get like all the time. And we'll do a few of these videos over time. But today we're going to focus on maybe 10, 12 questions that we get quite often on our YouTube channel, Facebook, and in our emails. And Tim's going to ask the questions. I'm going to try to answer them as best that I can.
All right. So shall we get started, Ben?
No, I need a few more minutes.
All right. We're going to hang out for a bit and then we'll start on the questions.
All right, good. Okay, now I'm good.
Question number 1. How do you roll down a food bag or a dry bag?
That actually is a common question. People are getting into backpacking. I'm always surprised when I see it. But if you think about it, someone who's never backpacked probably never used a roll down dry bag. So I have some right next to me, or Tim's going to grab one and kind of show you. It goes the same. Doesn't matter if it's a dry bag. I'll let you do it, Tim. Right. Doesn't matter if it's a dry bag or a food bag. You got a snap in the middle, and the snap mainly helps you line everything up. So you snap it, and you want to roll it down at least 3 times, and you want to roll it pretty tight. You don't want to just do a loosey-goosey roll. You want to get it down nice and tight. So if you got food in here, this is a food bag, custom printed one. You want to roll it down to where it's pretty much all the way down to the food, and keep it pretty tight. And then you're going to loop it around and snap it. And again, if that's still loose, roll it one more time. You want to make sure it's nice and tight.
It looks prettier with food in it, but yeah.
It does. Okay, next question.
Next question. If you're doing custom printing, what color is the background?
That's also another common question. So for the custom printing, if you send us a logo, people ask us what color is the background. Well, the bag is already white. Doesn't matter if it's Dyneema or if we're printing on EcoPack, the background is white. So if you don't put a background color in your image, it's going to be white. It makes the printing process easier. Doesn't matter if you're printing. Think about a photograph. You're printing on a white background, and that white will show through any place where there's no color. So if you want a background color, make sure you put that color into your design, or you can even message us and we can design that for you. Hopefully that helps.
Terrific. Question is about coffee. Is your coffee responsibly sourced?
It is. We actually have a coffee shop here at Hilltop Packs. The front of the building is our coffee roastery, so you can come in and check us out. We roast on Mondays and Wednesdays, and we do responsibly source all of our beans. We go through a company that does that for us. They actually visit all the different countries where the coffee comes from, and they make sure the farmers are being taken care of and all the workers are being paid correctly, and the whole supply chain is just legit. So that's important to us, and it costs a little bit more, but it's totally worth it for us.
That's fantastic. Question number 4. All right, it's more of a statement, actually, but I believe you get this all the time. You don't need a food bag for your food.
I guess technically no, but people comment every time you do a food bag video. People say you don't need that fancy food bag, and you obviously don't. You could just use a. We have one guy that comments all the time that he hiked the Appalachian Trail with a Walmart shopping bag. Hey, that's great, and if that's something you want to do,
ultralight.
That's super ultralight. You could also just put your food in your pants pockets if you wanted to go even more ultralight, or if maybe even beyond that, just don't wear pants and just carry the food in your hands, I guess.
Yeah.
So really, it's whatever you want. Obviously, you don't need any of this gear that we sell. We sell it for convenience, and it's something you want, hopefully. So if it makes your life easier on trail, that's what we're here for. But you certainly don't need anything that we sell. But you got to put your food someplace, and preferably not your pants.
Could you go pants free and then duct tape the food to your thighs?
Duct tape does have a weight penalty, so I would.
I never thought of the weight.
Yeah,
all right. Thanks for clarifying, Ben. Does Hilltop Packs have a shop you can visit?
We do. We're in Pennsylvania. We're about an hour south of Pittsburgh in a little town called Waynesburg. So if you're in like West Virginia, we're just north of the border, north of Morgantown. If you're in Pennsylvania, we're about an hour south of Pittsburgh. So you can come down and visit us. If you know you want to come and hang out for a little bit, we do have a coffee shop. Let us know you're coming, and we'll make sure the crew is here. We'll give you a little tour of the whole place. We're an open book here. We'll show you the print shop. We'll show you the sewing shop, the 3D printing area, all the lasers, all the cool stuff. And you can probably hear the ladies in the back yelling. I'm not sure if you can hear that or not, but they get a little rowdy in there. So you get to see everything. But just let us know when you're coming. We're typically open between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. every single day through the week, and then Sundays 9 a.m. to
2 p.m.
Yes, 2 p.m. Thank you. Come see us.
The next question is in relevance to the dog bone from Apex Giant, and it's more, again, of a statement that I think Ben sees all the time. People shouldn't go into the woods if they can't tie a simple knot.
Yes, we get that, especially on the YouTube videos we make, and I've seen other people make the same video for the dog bone, and especially early on, people were kind of making fun of it almost, and I kind of expected that. But the one thing I keep seeing is people shouldn't go in the woods if they don't know how to tie a simple knot, because that dog bone helps you not have to tie a knot. You just kind of slip the line through. It makes life a lot easier. I kind of take offense to that a little bit because I hate remembering these knots. Like
Me too.
it's just it's a little knot, and yes, you can memorize it, but I only sometimes get to go a couple times a year on a backpacking trip. I may forget how to tie that knot, and to tell me I don't belong in the woods because I don't remember how to tie a knot, it kind of sucks. So
Don't tell us we can't go in the woods, people. I can't tie my shoes.
yeah, so just ignore people like that. Just go out there and hike your own hike.
All right. Next question. Oh, this is a good one. We'll talk a little bit about what's the difference between a flat bottom food bag and a not flat bottom food bag.
Yeah, so the volume is the same. Very little difference in volume. Basically, you're pegging in the corners, and you're literally just losing just a tiny little bit on a flat bottom. Ultimately, then when you put your food inside of it, they're both kind of the same. But when it's empty, it does stand up a little bit better. If it has a flat bottom, you can kind of post it up, especially if you have a photo on it. Maybe you have a YouTube channel, put the logo on the side. It will stand up on its own. If it's a regular bottom, not the flat bottom, it won't stand up. You got to use a tree or something. So it's totally what you want, but it is the same volume. So don't let that make your decision. Just think about if you want to stand it up on its own for whatever reason, when you're putting stuff in it, or if you have a photo on it or a YouTube channel on it, that would be one of the reasons why you want a flat bottom. So it kind of stands up on its own initially. But once you put food in it, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah. Get the flat bottom, people.
There you go.
So this one is in relevance to probably more like your compressible items, your quilts, your clothing, things like that. Would you recommend a dry bag, in other words, a roll top bag, or a stuff sack?
Yeah, so that's also a question we get a lot about the quilts and clothing. So how do you want to store your stuff in your backpack? Now, I'm certainly not an expert, and even though Tim is our gear pro, he's not an expert either. But we talked to a lot of people, and since I started this company, and just from my own experience, I want to be able to put my quilt and my clothing in my bag in a way that it'll compress down as I push down the gear to make it smaller and smaller and smaller. If I use a dry bag, it's going to hold all that air in, it's going to stay expanded, and it's not going to want to compress. Using a stuff sack will allow everything to kind of compress down because air can escape out of that little hole at the top of the stuff sack. That said, stuff sacks are probably going to be perfect for 99% of your trips that you go on. If you're going to spend a lot of time crossing creeks or in a canoe or something like that, stuff sack's probably the wrong way to go because there is a chance water could get into that little hole. And you may want to think about using a dry bag in those extreme situations. But for most of us, we're not swimming with our gear. So a stuff sack is more than adequate inside your pack. So you have multiple layers of protection. You got your backpack, you got your stuff sack, and maybe even have a pack liner. You're going to be totally fine with a stuff sack that will be compressible in your pack to get smaller.
That's a good answer. But Ben forgot one thing that he taught me, actually, is on that stuff sack, the hole itself, put it in your pack upside down so the hole is facing down, so any water that would happen to run through your pack will run off of it instead of inside of it.
Put your hole down.
Put your hole down.
Yeah.
Always face your holes down, people. Yeah. Always.
Holes up, bad news.
All right, so you have a lot of shoulder accessories, pouches, etc. Will that work on any pack?
You gotta have some kind of like daisy chain or something on your shoulder straps, which I'll grab one here. Actually, Tim, if you want to grab any like that one right there. Yep, grab that one. So we'll show you the shoulder straps that we make here. And a lot of cottage vendors will add a lot more attachment points. Like in our straps here, we have a lot of places you can actually attach our shoulder straps anywhere on here. You can put it up or down. Your chest strap, you can mount up and down anywhere. A lot of commercially made backpacks don't do all this extra stuff because it does take extra time, extra material. But for our backpacks, it fits perfectly. Most cottage vendors, same thing. You can attach our shoulder straps anywhere on here. But commercially made packs like REI packs,
Osprey, maybe.
Osprey packs, you're probably going to struggle putting our shoulder straps on those types of packs unless you have some place to attach it. You might have it. If you want to send us a photo of your pack, we can look at it, kind of go from there.
Perfect. All right, now we're going to get into a couple of the doozies, the more, shall we say, I don't know, abstract answers from Ben. And this one is probably going to be your favorite question, and that is Steve, and if you don't know, Steve is what is his title?
He is our creative content writer. He's also in a lot of our videos, and he runs the cutting area of the shop as well.
Funny guy. But anyway, the question is Steve okay?
A lot of the videos he makes, he's just funny, and he's making funny faces, and we get comments about Steve quite a bit. So yes, Steve is okay. That is his normal face. He was born with that. He can't help it. He's just a funny guy, and I love him, and I know I bust his chops a lot, but he is a good dude, and he's a good asset to the team. So he is okay.
My answer to that question would be is I also adore Steve, but I'm not sure he's okay.
Yes, I mean, and ignore his taste in music. If you could just ignore that, for the most part, he's an okay guy.
All right, and then the final question of the day: what is a Gear Pro?
So Tim is our Gear Pro, and we do get a big chuckle out of that. Tim came on board to do some work for us as a creative content creator remotely. He lives in Ohio. Our shop is in Pennsylvania. We just wanted someone who could do more videos on trail, and we needed to hire someone, and he needed a title, and I didn't know what else to call him. So we came with the title Gear Pro because we thought it was kind of funny, because we don't think anybody in this field is really a professional. I mean, you don't go to school for this kind of stuff. You just go outside, poop in the woods a few times, and you're considered a backpacker. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So there's no requirement, no special test, no schooling. You don't have to wear a lumberjack shirt to be a Gear Pro.
But you have to have pooped in the woods a minimum of 3 times?
Three times, yeah. Okay. At least your backyard. Yeah.
That's where I always poop, is my backyard. Save
Nice.
on those flushes, Ben.
Yeah, just not someone else's backyard. It's an easy way to get arrested.
I'm not going to talk about that.
Is that it for the most part? Is that it?
I believe that's it. I'm sure we have more doozies in the future.
We'll keep doing these as more questions come in. There is a lot of questions that were kind of silly, but we may address some of those too. But guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you next time. Any questions at all, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, through our website, MySpace, whatever you want to do. Match.com. We don't care. We'll talk to you next time. Later.
Thanks.